I sold an Instagram account to a Russian oligarch by the name of Sergey Grishin, who unfortunately was what many would say murdered. They had a Snapchat channel with it, and they sold that for $52 million.
Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to No Offense. Thank you for tuning in today. We really appreciate it. We got Drew back on the podcast again. Thank you for coming back, brother. We really appreciate it. I know last time we were talking a lot about cryptocurrency, some of the stuff you guys are working on. We wanted to have you back in today to really talk about the business behind selling Instagram pages, the current crypto scene, what's going on with NFTs, and just kind of have a chat about that. So thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course, man, of course.
Yeah, a lot of the same stuff, still doing the crypto stuff, just on a smaller scale. Trying to refocus on Instagram a little bit. Instagram's kind of been popping recently, honestly.
Has it actually?
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like we think the opposite.
I feel
Really?
I feel like I like to kind of start with the story that we can dig into, how you did it.
Yeah.
But the story that you were telling me about with how you sold your first Instagram page, then it recently got sold again for a pretty crazy number. And also dive in where the fuck did that number come from? Because that's insane.
Okay, so I'll start with, I kind of touched on this last time, but probably a lot of new people watching. So long story short, I had a sock business. And so I was selling the socks on Instagram, and I was buying shout outs off of the sports pages. And so we bought off of House of Highlights, which obviously now is huge, and it popped. So we sold I think 200 pairs of socks or something off of a $200 ad.
Damn.
Selling them for $20 a pair. So that was ridiculous. And we grew the sock business. I was 14 years old. We grew the sock business to 200K, just under 200K in revenue. But it was set up where I was doing the marketing and my neighbor was doing the order fulfillment, but he couldn't handle the number of orders that I had coming in. But also I wasn't very smart about it, because he'd be like, hey, you should slow down in the marketing. And I would just be like, fuck that. I just want to keep buying these ads, because it's so addicting, because you get so much fucking dopamine from it.
Yeah.
All these orders coming in. So eventually that shut down. And I was like, okay, rather than being the guy that is buying the shout outs off these guys and then has to deal with customer service and making the socks and shipping them and all that stuff, I should just be the guy that grows an Instagram page and just sells ads. And so I basically looked around. There was this account that was doing decent, that was athletes reading mean tweets. And so I bought the username athletes read mean tweets for $100 or something. And then you go on YouTube and you just pull all the Jimmy Kimmel clips of athletes reading mean tweets, and then you compile them together. And I started buying the shout outs for it again, and it popped. I think I gained to almost 70,000 followers in the first week or something.
Wow.
And I only spent I think $3,000 or $4,000.
Really?
Yeah. And so then I was selling ads, and then you would do what's called SFS, which is if you have an Instagram page and I have an Instagram page, I post you and you post me, and then we both gain followers. The difference between what I was doing and what everyone else was doing was that they would all sell their shout outs and then just go buy shoes and shit with it. I would sell the shout outs and I would just reinvest it all into just more shout outs for myself. So I would sell to a sock company, because there was a ton of those. And then I would just buy another ad off of House of Highlights for my page, my bad. And I just started rolling through followers. And then I ran into my first hiccup, because apparently Disney technically owns the athlete or the Jimmy Kimmel show where the celebrities and athletes would read the mean tweets. So they sent me a cease and desist.
Did they really?
Yeah, dude.
No way.
I had my email and my thing. I remember I was a freshman in high school and I got it, and I was like, what the fuck? So panicked, obviously. And I converted it into sports laughters, which was just sports comedy. And so then I rode that from 200K all the way up until 1.5 mil. And then I had to convert again to Athletes Fact, just because the niche gets stale. And so then I gained that to about 2.2 mil. And so at that time, now the biggest sports pages, which I bought off one of them yesterday for something else, we'll talk about that in a bit, is Hurdles, Best Celebrations. But I was double the size of all those guys. So I was second behind, I think there was like basketball vines and then there was House of Highlights. And so I was selling like $1,500 worth of ads a day when I was like that young. Like it was crazy.
Damn.
It was crazy. And the problem though was that Instagram was basically like the feed was in reverse chronological order. So most recent post, second most recent post, third most recent. And then they changed it because the issue for Instagram was that their biggest competition was the influencers within the app and not like Twitter, because TikTok didn't exist back then. Snapchat was like really small, not really small, but not what they are now. And Twitter was like just dust. So Instagram's biggest competition was the influencers that were selling ads within the app. So they had to do something about that to limit their reach. And so not only to outcompete the influencers, but then to raise their own advertising revenue, they switched to an algorithm-based feed.
And
I
didn't know that was why they did that.
Yeah. Well, because it made it so that all the accounts on Instagram weren't getting the same reach. So like if you were a brand and you were growing on Instagram, now if you want to have the like really good engagement, like engagement that you had back then, it's not that hard, but you have to boost all your posts. And so if you boost your posts, you get super favorable algorithm ranking, even on posts that aren't boosted. Now,
really?
Yeah. But so getting back on track to the story then. So I panicked when that was coming out, as did everyone else. And I sold. And so I think I was 15 when I sold. And I sold it to this guy for, it was $20K up front plus $5K a month for 6 months. So it was supposed to be $50K total. And then he flew out to Detroit. I couldn't even drive back then. So my mom drove me to the airport where we met at a bank and he gave me the check for the $20K. And then we signed like a contract for the $30K, but I was under 18. So I don't think it meant anything. And I don't even remember if I don't think my mom like signed off on it as like a guardian. And so I got paid for the first month. And then he decided to just screw me over. And so the second month he hit me and he's like, hey, I need a W-9. And so then I sent it to him. And he's like, well, you're not 18. Like I need like this, and this. And I was like, you don't have that. And then he just stopped paying me.
Oh no.
And then, yeah. And then I hit him up and he just stopped paying me. And so I obviously went on to grow more Instagram pages and like, I'm fine. But it kind of irritated me because I saw like a couple weeks ago a news article where basically, so that account was Athletes Fact. You can merge accounts through Facebook, like through like an Instagram rep portal. It was way easier to do back then. So they merged Athletes Fact and another, I think it was at Basketball Videos together. And then they bought the username Playmaker and they put Playmaker on it. And then they bought one other page and then they had a Snapchat channel. So they had my page merged with another one that was at like 3 mil. They bought another 3 mil and then they had a Snapchat channel with it and they sold that for 52 million.
Oh my God.
$52 million.
Just because of the reach?
2 Instagram pages and 1 Snapchat channel just because of the reach and the brand. Yeah. $52 million. Like
how many people are usually behind a page like that? Was it just one dude? Or is it probably a team at that point?
Theirs was different because they have a team of people that's like posting like high school basketball content is really big. And so they have a team of people that's responsible for recording, posting, interviewing like these high school athletes.
That makes sense. So they're
genuine media.
Yeah. So but the majority of it, like the main assets were the 2 Instagram pages, one of which was mine that I sold for $25K. I got paid. And they didn't even gain it any followers. Like they merged another account into it, changed the username, and it's all the same followers.
And then just add another account to it and flip it. That's crazy.
Flipped it for a crazy amount of money. Yeah.
Wow. That's, it's,
or
money's made up.
It's insane.
At Daquan too. At Daquan on Instagram, account sold for like 25 million, I think, or 26 million.
Yeah. I have no idea. Like, I didn't know that pages could sell for that much money.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it. Like,
the biggest thing I feel like with that is like, how do you even like middleman that, right? Because it must be kind of odd to like sell it and then like get the password. It has to be all like upfront thing, like face to face, right? Like you're not like fucking giving this guy a wait for the deposit? Like, how does that even work? It's always face to face.
I mean, every time I've done it, at least I've sold accounts to the same person like multiple times. And so once you're comfortable with them,
you know that you're
straight. And so then you can kind of just send them the info and get the wire like when it comes. But initially, every time I've sold a page, it's been in person. Like I'll go typically sign a contract, certified check. You give them the account with the password the big thing is like the original email. So if you get hacked on Instagram, but you have your original email, like the sign up email, you can just email Instagram and say like, hey, I got hacked. Here's the original email. They'll email you there and then you get it back. So if you have an account without the original email, it's worth like a little bit less. And it's just kind of scary. It's not as scary now because now you can have like a Facebook rep. Like it's pretty easy to have a relationship with a Facebook rep, but back then it wasn't. So it was a really, really big deal back then.
Do you have to be a certain size to get a Facebook rep?
It's just a lot more about relationships because that's why Instagram is so weird because you have these really big pages, some of which are plugged, say, with the Facebook reps, and they'll get away with posting more content, or they have, say, like a copyright plug. The biggest issue with having a really big page right now is there's companies out there like Viral Hog that will basically go through, scour your page, just searching for videos that they can buy the rights to. So they would see that if you had an account, like let's say you own Daquan, you posted a video and you tagged the owner of it, right? The owner of it owns said video. Viral Hog will go, they'll see that it's on your page, contact the owner, buy the rights of it from them, and then immediately strike you to Instagram. And if you get striked enough times, your account gets disabled. So you have to pay their strike and they'll just charge you thousands.
No way.
And they'll do it in chunks. Like they're assholes about it. So like an account will get striked, say 7 times from Viral Hog, and they'll offer you this amazing discount where instead of $3,000 per video, you'll pay $1,000 per video, but you have to shell out $7,000 to Viral Hog.
Damn.
Not ethical, but a probably decent business model for them. I mean, I'm on the other side.
Yeah, there's never going to be that.
You're like, honestly,
yeah.
You're like, so I'm changing lanes.
That's insane. I didn't know
That's
crazy. Did that.
I didn't know that was a thing. It's a really weird world that's why I want to talk about it, because I didn't know about it, and I feel like most people don't realize that there's like this whole Instagram business world.
Do you see the same thing for TikTok? Are there theme pages is it as big on that platform?
TikTok is different. TikTok, in my opinion, is, so if you know TikTok, it's really easy to gain followers. So an account on TikTok with a lot of followers isn't necessarily worth very much just because you're not actually paying for the account. Like, let's say that you had an account that had like 8 million followers. I take over said account. If I'm not posting the same way that you're posting, those followers are worthless, because every time a video hits feed, like how often are you going in your following feed on TikTok? Never.
That's true.
So if a video doesn't hit feed, it will just fall flat dead.
Yeah.
So the majority, like the people that are good at TikTok, they're just good at TikTok. So they could grow any account. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but I'm just not that good at TikTok. I can't really get videos. Like, I don't understand it. I've never tried enough because there's not that much. I mean, there is upside in it for e-commerce, but for my lane of internet business, there's not that much upside. But yeah, it's just different.
It's odd because from what I know about it, it pushes it to 500 people on your followers list. If that does well, they'll expand and keep pushing it forward. If that gets the long retention rate, then they'll keep pushing. Then it'll hit For You. Because if you look at any of your viral posts, it's 99% For You page, 1% followers. Yeah. So I can see what you're saying about how the followers really don't even matter. Like for our size, we've had videos that had like 6 million views. And like, obviously, like, it's just like, it's so odd because it's just like a certain clip does a certain way.
And it doesn't always really convert in like any way that you'd think that it would.
Yeah.
I disagree, dude.
No, like
TikTok is ridiculous, dude. For our videos.
Well, the conversion.
I mean, for like following too, though. Like, it doesn't like convert to a follower.
I got you.
Or it doesn't always convert to like actual like a page
but here's what you have to do. True. This is from Oliver Brocato, the guy that owns Tabs Chocolate. I don't know if you ever heard of that. But the way that TikTok is really powerful is if a video goes viral, that's not going to be your highest conversion typically. But what you can do then is if you go in and respond to comments, it automatically retargets it to all the people that watched that original video. Ooh. So you can like what they'll do for e-commerce is they'll run an ad, it'll go viral. And then you do the aggressive selling through the comment replies.
Oh, I see when the
so you have your CTA in the reply videos to the comments. Because if video gets like 2 million views, let's say, and then you reply to a comment on it, it's very likely that your reply pops up in all of those people that watch the video's TikTok feed.
I always think of the dude with the floating fidget spinners. I always think of that.
Yeah, those guys that throw them.
And that's probably why. Is that why they do the part 2 thing and they comment the part 2?
Exactly. Yeah, because then you get to retarget everyone, and then you have your more aggressive CTA. Yeah.
Reply with video, I feel like always really hits well too.
Yeah,
that's pretty smart.
That's a really good route to go, actually. Yeah. I feel like you're right, though, with the TikTok. I forgot what I was listening to. I think Gary Vee was talking about it. Or someone was talking about how these people have like 20 million followers on TikTok and they can't even sell out like a 100-person event.
Yeah.
But then you have these people that have like 200K on Instagram and they're like selling shit
even
out.
30K on Instagram.
Even 30K
like
on Instagram. They could easily get 1,000 people.
Loyal.
Yeah.
Like,
well, what's crazy is the difference between if you look at like YouTube and TikTok are both social media apps. There's people that are making $70,000 a month selling course, mentorship, stuff like that are averaging 2,000 views per video on YouTube.
True.
That are making bands. And then you've got the opposite side of the equation where you've got TikTok. You can have people that are averaging millions of views per post, posting multiple times a day, but they can't move any volume because there's not like the videos are so short that there's not really any loyalty to, like, you're not building any sort of connection with your audience.
Yeah, and it's like all about like what you're actually pushing to. Like you can make a million videos, but if people don't want to buy a course from you or something, then it's like it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Like it's like like you said, like you could sell to 10 people $10,000 courses, or you could like try to push it to 1 million people and no one wants it.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I feel like the power of TikTok is just you could post like, 50 videos and all of them are getting like 1,000 views. And then like you get one video that just hits crazy hard. And then you just like do your best in that moment to just convert them all to like YouTube or Instagram. And just, like you say, aggressive call to action in the comments.
Yeah.
I would say we probably have like a 10% conversion rate from TikTok. Because we got like 60K
when a video does well,
subscriber rise.
So
because we have 60 on TikTok and 6 on YouTube, it's probably like 10%.
Do you guys gain in uniform?
Sometimes, I mean, like when
if a video goes viral, I will literally watch the chart immediately go boom. It's like, dude, I've always stood by TikTok as that's the only reason why.
It's good to get people to go elsewhere.
And like you were saying, for e-commerce, it's even better now with the shop thing they have now. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's like I've noticed that.
Yeah,
video.
Dude,
the shop thing is game changer.
Crazy.
Everything's eligible for commission.
Really annoying.
I thought that was when I saw that. I'm like, this is like a game changer. Not a lot of people are talking about.
I have heard some it's really, really good for brands and for influencers because it's really easy to get people to actually convert into like buying something, and then it's way easier to track purchases, like where they came from, because it's all in the app now.
Yeah.
So like what an influencer did for you in terms of like converting. So like now if you're a brand, you can like pay the influencer the right amount, and they can't really like. True. You're not dealing with
because you're exactly tracking all their conversion.
Yeah, you're not dealing with like pixels like in the same way and shit, or like having like specific URLs and all that. Like now it's just right through there, like. It's like, I know exactly what your video sold.
And do you buy it through the app, or do you have to go elsewhere?
Yeah,
so
through the app.
It has it on the video, like in the bottom. You click it.
They're turning into like an Amazon.
Right to it.
Yeah.
God damn.
Instagram tried to do that.
Shop.
But not very good. Yeah.
Shop was not functional.
Instagram, Zuck has been missing recently. Missed with Threads, missed with that.
Yeah, Threads.
Yeah, what's going on with Threads? I'd like to hear what you think about that.
Do you stay on Threads or no?
I mean, it was a bit of a gold rush because the way that it worked is so, like, I have around 8 million followers right now on Instagram and just across like a network. So if I have a page that has 1 million followers, I create a Threads account. I think I gained a free 40,000 followers or something. So everyone at first was like, whoa, I just generated this entire new network that I can monetize out of nowhere, out of thin air. The problem is that everyone stopped using it after like a week.
Yeah.
So
it was literally a 5-day thing, and then it just
My opinion on it
ugly.
is yeah.
The UI was just ugly. I think it's just like I
didn't hate it. I just think that it's like
a white page with a bunch of fucking.
I just can't see a scenario where I would ever go on that. I'm just not interested. I think if I was in high school, maybe, like if I actually cared about the thoughts of a lot of the people that I follow on Instagram, then I would, but I don't necessarily care about
exactly it. Yeah.
Like I feel like Twitter is entertaining to me because it's what is going on in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Whereas I don't necessarily care. In high school, Twitter was more entertaining because there'd be like drama of your high school. People would be beefing or you'd be beefing kids from other schools, like stuff like that. I don't really care about, because I still follow a lot of people from high school on Instagram. I don't care about
what they're doing.
what's going on.
I want to see a quick picture that says they got engaged. I don't want to hear what they think about politics.
Yeah, like give me your highlight reel. Yeah, not your political views or your views on like the price of Bitcoin or anything like that.
That's really, really true.
Yeah.
Never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also just didn't feel right to have like 2 Twitters. Like, Twitter's just got its thing.
Yeah.
Twitter's got its thing. Instagram has its thing.
Yeah.
TikTok's got its thing. I feel like once you start doubling down, do you think anything else is gonna? I feel like now we have the suite. I don't know if anyone else.
Well,
is
also, I
gonna
think I don't think that any new platform, like Twitter's Twitter, obviously, but I think that nothing's going to win unless it's just like really drilled down on video.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
video is what it is now for the most part, because of like what you said. Like I don't care about people's thoughts, like, but video, like I love seeing that. Like I don't think that people like are interested in like they want the dopamine hit. They don't want to like just read a bunch.
Yeah.
Somebody has to bring like something really different, because there's been like all the ideas have been kind of fleshed out now. Like Be Real had a chance and they just didn't advance on anything. But even
Be Real,
then,
I don't think it induces enough dopamine. Like what you were saying. I think that if something was going to become more popular, it would have to induce even more dopamine response from whoever's using it.
100%.
And I don't really understand how you would do that. I can't think of a way that you would do that.
TikTok was like did it best. Just a shitload of quick videos really fast thrown at you that like they know that you like.
And they're
like
edited so well with the text popping up. You can consume it.
It's like a casino
so quickly.
It's like a slot machine.
Literally the ultimate scroll effect. You're just always wanting to go.
And their algorithm is like
ends.
brilliant. Like we were talking about, like if you want to watch a fishing video, you like one fishing video and like that's your feed.
It starts
for the next
popping up
10
more
minutes.
fishing videos.
It's insane how fast it works.
well, they're also just like with CapCut. CapCut is such a good editing app.
Yeah.
Like
It really
they're
is.
basically just having people, they're like, okay, here's this free editing program you could use to make your videos more attractive, make it easier to watch, make people stay on the long, which in turn just makes our app better. And
Even better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that editing program is honestly incredible. It's really fucking good. And they're constantly
super
updating
powerful for like a lightweight app.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the average person can't really use like an Adobe editing suite, but like anyone could figure out CapCut, and they have like the templates that you can use and like it edits stuff for you. It's crazy.
You're kind of right too. Like that is something that's different about Instagram or TikTok is like they promote people to make better content.
Yeah.
I feel like Instagram had filters, but it really never
They have their editing,
promoted
but it
people to
sucks.
do like better content.
Yeah, they don't empower you at all.
They have their in-app editing thing, but it sucks.
Yeah.
And from what maybe I'm wrong about this. I saw people talk about that. They want people to edit in the app and that'll help you get more reach. That's their
Instagram does?
Yeah, like they want you to use the editing thing in app, but it sucks.
Well, Instagram, their algorithm is just trash, honestly. Like this past 2 months, there was, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but some accounts had this chrono glitch, whereas where your account basically goes back to the activity that it would have been when Instagram feed was reverse chronological. And so I got it on one of my pages, which was good because you're making like a shit ton of money compared to what you'd normally make. But then the rest of the pages took a hit engagement wise. And they didn't fix this and this is like, it was so widespread across Instagram. Maybe 10% of the pages had this chrono glitch, but that's like 100 pages out of the meme page community. And then the rest are dead. But it was so widespread across these meme pages that I would assume it was happening to like everyone that was posting. And they didn't fix the glitch I had chrono for I think 3 months.
No way.
I noticed a big drop off like 6 months ago. Like it was like that. Like when we first started posting, we were getting like 800 likes a video, which is like we had like 1,000 followers. I'm like, damn, Instagram's the shit.
Yeah.
And then it just dropped off. And then we would get like But if we got a viral video, it would go really well, and we would just continue seeing followers for like weeks.
Yeah.
But then, you know what honestly has fucking been hitting for us big is Facebook. Facebook pages, dude.
Really?
Those dude.
Yeah, why are we
yeah.
popping on Facebook?
It's absurd.
How big are you guys on Facebook?
We got 30K on Facebook.
Damn.
In like a
like
month.
really fast.
In a month.
Really?
In a month. Yeah.
Off
And it was
of
just
what? So
recycling our
just
content
Reels.
that we do on
Just
Reels.
Reels?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Reels. Yeah. We posted all the pack house stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how good this is gonna do. And then I wake up, I'm like, 2 million fucking views. I'm like,
Damn.
Jesus Christ. And it was every single fucking video.
Really?
Every single
Just
video.
pop it?
Yeah.
I don't
just-
think
it
I've
has to
seen a
be-
video that's under like 50K on our Facebook.
Recently,
And so-
it has to be a good video. If
Yeah.
it's good, it'll do well.
When you post it, does it share to Instagram Reels as well, or do you have it separate? So you have
That's what it was doing. It would share, like when I did the Scott Storch video, I posted those. It was, you know how you swipe and you see like Facebook thing, whatever. It was doing like, so it was showing on the Instagram page like 20,000 likes, but then like not a lot of comments because it was from Facebook. But the Packers ones, then you go to Facebook and there's just thousands of comments, thousands of comments. Yeah,
Facebook has like an older demo, but a super engaged demo. I feel like those like
they don't
uncles
even
and
realize
stuff,
it.
they get
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Like
Aggressively.
yeah,
And
like,
another
they
thing I
want to
noticed-
argue.
Yeah, they do want to argue.
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed is like the topics thing. You seen that? Like with the ad topics.
Yeah.
I don't know if
that
is
still
that
on
any
Instagram?
substantial. Yeah, it's on Instagram and Facebook.
They're adding a bunch of stuff. They added like broadcasting channels too.
Yeah,
They're
I
adding
saw
all
that.
this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know anything about that or no?
No one's using it.
I've been getting all these information, like
So-
notifications, like so and so invited you to their broadcast. I'm like, I don't know what
Yeah.
this is.
So how do you grow a page? Like how do you get started? Right?
It's
If you, for example, like
Let's
we got
say-
11K right now, how would you get us to 100?
Now.
What would you do now today?
or is that too hard because like we're in like our niche?
if I was for your guys' niche,
yeah, or like any page, I guess. Yeah.
for two answers. For your guys' niche, you just need content. And honestly, I would boost through Instagram.
Really?
Like you can boost in app through Instagram and then just test like $5 a day and then just scale what works. And if you let that run, you can start rolling through followers.
Really?
Like if I was going to gain you guys, if I was trying to grow a meme page and just make money off it, realistically, I would probably just buy a 500K or something. Like you could buy a 500,000 follower meme page for $5,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like one that's not that active.
Yeah.
And then let's say you dump another $2,000 into ads and get it a lot more active. You can then sell that page. Like this is what the difference between e-commerce and drop shipping, what all these other gurus are talking about compared to this meme page stuff that's finally getting popular now is if I buy that page for $5,000, I dump $2,000 into ads. That page is now worth $7,000. So it's like real estate. So then I can go and I can sell ads on it for 6 months. I can sell $3,000 worth of ads per month. Now I make $18,000. And then I can just maintain that page by cross promotion with other pages. That page is still, that page is still worth 7,000. So you can make the 18K and then turn around and sell it for 7,000 if you wanted to after 6 months. You get back your initial 7,000 by selling it, and then you profited 18K.
Huh.
Yeah. So that's the difference between if you were to go start, say, a drop shipping store.
Where it's a lot of.
You're not, it's a lot of work and you're not building anything that you can sell.
Yeah.
Like realistically, if you want to sell a drop shipping store, you're going to have to turn it into private labeling. You're going to have to hold a bunch of inventory because if you're literally just drop shipping, no one's going to buy your IP because there's 20 other stores that are probably drop shipping the same thing. You might be making a ton of money, but no one's going to buy it because you don't have any sort of infrastructure set up. Like you're not holding inventory. Your brand isn't crazy. You don't have packaging. You don't have all these things because you're really just drop shipping.
Yeah.
So there's nothing really to sell. And on top of that, your margins aren't like realistically, you're looking at 15 to 20% margins at best on drop shipping at best. And then you have to deal with like returns, refunds, customer complaints.
It's a lot of work. It's
all the
way
stuff,
more work than
yeah.
people think, I feel like.
Yeah, like supply chain management.
Which is
all
why
of it,
all
yeah.
the gurus sell courses on how to do it. They
Exactly.
money
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Funnel everybody to that.
No, something that's so I almost got beamed. Not beamed. I don't want to slander this kid because I don't know him. But there was this guy. That I saw on. I kept seeing him on YouTube named like Sanders Stage, maybe Sanders Sage. I think it's Stage. But he was selling a course on how to make. His pitch was if you're making say $50K a month and you're not monetizing said skill, you should be teaching other people how to do that. And I will sell you a course on how to make a course. So when you say it like that, when you say it like that, it sounds really stupid.
Yeah.
But I was kind of sold. So it's like, all right, let's just hear what he has to say. I was interested. Yeah. So I got on a call with his team, and if he's watching this, he needs to change this part of his pitch because his team explained that at his best, he was making $30,000 a month off of his agency. And so I heard that and I was like, why would I pay this dude who's making less money off of his agency than I am to teach me how to do this? But he was moving over $100,000 a month profit because he was making like $80,000 a month off of his course. So he's doing 30 a month off of his actual core business. And then he's doing 80,000 a month off the education. But it makes sense because if your argument is that college is going to go away, that money has to flow somewhere. And so if your argument is that you're going to see the decentralization of education and people have to learn how to make money, then they are going to have to pay these guru guys for information to learn how to make money.
And truthfully, like once you make a course, if it's good, it's so much easier to sell than an agency model. Cause like kind of what we were talking about earlier, like the sales cycle is way longer in agency, all these things. A course, like you make a good course and run some ads against it and stuff, like you could be selling 30 a day.
And it makes sense not to shit on that guy, because if I'm selling a course, say for like $3,000, that's high ticket. Well, that's pretty high ticket, but you're spending $3,000. I'll easily make, like I would easily be able to teach somebody how to grow an Instagram page if they pay me $3,000. Like that would easily be worth it. And then you grow, because what they're doing now is it's less the course model and it's more you just grow your private group where you're basically just getting on calls with these people like a couple times a week, showing them how to do whatever you're doing to make money. And then you have like your group, whether it lives on Discord, Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever it is. And that also serves like, and it has inherent value, which this is kind of, I don't have a fully informed opinion on this. On one hand, I think it's stupid, but on the other hand, it makes sense because you have guys that are literally,
if it's the right guy, it makes sense.
Yeah. But you have guys that they're not teaching anything. Like they'll hop on Instagram and they sell through stories now. And they'll hop on Instagram stories and they'll be like, if you're making $30,000 a month, DM me and I'll help you scale to 70K a month. And it's like, bro, what do you actually do? Like inherently, what are your skills? Mm-hmm. Their skills are just sales and like looking aesthetic on Instagram, but they convince a bunch of people to join their private mentorship group. And after they like this mentorship group without these other people probably doesn't have any inherent value. But once you group together all of these dudes that are all making money that are say just like socially awkward a little bit, or they just want to be in this group, you group all these guys together. Yeah. And now suddenly you have dudes that are transacting. Like if you're making a bunch of money and you run an e-commerce store and I'm making a bunch of money and I own Instagram pages, we link up in this chat and you're like, yo, I need advertising.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
like an
I've
online
got that.
Soho House
Exactly.
or like country club.
Exactly.
That's actually really, that's smart.
The war room.
Yeah. Yeah, literally the war room model, basically.
And then they just pay monthly to be part of this members crew.
Yeah, I think the model these guys are running is they're charging people up front. This is what I don't understand because I would kind of like to get into it because I think that I could teach something that a lot of people would probably like to learn. I just don't want to do it in like a spammy way. Sure. And so I'm not sure if because I see these guys and they're charging like $3,000. Yeah. And so I believe that they're charging $3,000 per year. Okay. But what worries me then is the math on that isn't necessarily mathing because if you're charging $3,000 per year for you to be making like $70,000 per month, which is what they're claiming they're making, I know you're not making that off your business because your business just is this. Like you don't have a separate dropshipping store or anything like that. So if you're even making $70,000 per month at $3,000, what is that? You'd have to be selling like 23 a month. Like you'd have to have 23 new customers every single month. By the end of the year, you'd have hundreds of people. What would that be? Like almost 300 people in your group.
Yeah.
Like 200, what is that? 250 something people in your group.
That's
a lot of people.
So you're almost selling more on the volume than
So my worry would be that they sell these people like $3,000 and then they just upsell them more shit and more shit and more shit. Like my worry is that you sell somebody and you're saying like, okay, like $199 per month to be in my group. And then they join the group and then you're like, hey, you want 3 calls a week? Like $2,000 per month. And you want to be like my main focus? That's like $5,000 a month. And then you want to be like the one guy that I'm talking to, that's $10,000 a month, but you're not actually the one guy I'm talking to.
Yeah.
That's my worry because that comes off as a little bit shady.
I think that like Dom and I have thought about doing like a course for like our actual agency business, something like that. And like, to me, I think the best route for courses and like this whole topic is quite literally the most traditional model of like doing like Coursera or something like that. But like spending like 3 months making like a 20-hour training program on like literally step-by-step how to do everything. Yeah. Like something that's just like so valuable you can't even argue it. Exactly. Type of thing where it's like, it costs $5,000 for this course, but if you actually do it, like there's no, you couldn't say that it's not useful. I think that's the best route is like just make something that's just so fucking good. Like what you would want
really dispute it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and spend like months building it.
Yeah.
And that'll sell itself.
And honestly, I think that I think that a lot of the time all people need to make money realistically is kind of a nudge of somebody that's done it saying like, hey, like you've got it, like you're not very far off. Tweak this, and this.
Very true.
And then just like keep at it. Because I feel like the problem when you're starting out is if it's just you kind of have all this chatter in your head of, oh, maybe I should do this, or maybe I'm doing this wrong, or maybe I'm doing, because the core thing that differentiates people that are successful versus people that aren't is you have to have a belief in your head, like a strong belief that you're going to be able to go from point A to point B without seeing tangible progress from you going from point A to point B. So you have to have belief that if you do X thing that you've never done before for long enough, it will actually produce this result that you're going for. And I think that that's where people get tripped up because they make maybe 33% progress, but you can't tangibly see it.
And they haven't seen that it does result in that yet.
Yeah. It's like you have to make this progress, but if you get halfway, you can't actually see that you're halfway. So you have to have that belief. So I think that it makes it a lot easier to do that if you're in somebody's mentorship group or if you've bought a course or just if you're surrounded by other people that are A, either in similar business model as you or B have done it.
It does go a long way. Like when we've sat with people and I told them about where we're at in business and they're just like, oh yeah, like I remember being there, like you're doing good. Yeah. And we're just like, oh yeah. That's good to hear. You're like, okay, great.
You can like cross check and see like, okay.
Yeah.
You're right. Like what you're saying, like they get so they like, oh fuck, is this even going to work? But if you have to make a cross check with, okay, yeah, you're doing that's right. Just keep going.
Well, because shit happens so randomly too. Like in my experience, when I'm working the hardest, a lot of times I'm making the least money or it feels like I'm stagnating. And then when you're hitting that upwards trajectory and you're making a ton of money, it feels like you're just floating upwards. It feels effortless almost. And so if in my experience, it'll be like you're trudging through the mud for 6, 8, 10 months and you're not really making, like you haven't gotten that leg up. And then out of nowhere, you'll just hit a break.
The momentum.
Yeah, you'll just hit a break and you'll be like, oh shit, like this was right in front of me the entire time.
I think it's because like it's just like the most mentally exhausting during that time. So it feels like you're just fucking grinding. Yeah. And then when you're making money, like it just feels like everything's working out. So like even if you're doing the same shit, like you're floating through the day. Like it feels good. Like everything makes a difference that you're doing.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's addicting. It gets so addicting.
So
just seeing it's like invoice. Like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
So for what you do with the pages, the main source of revenue when you have a page is just selling ads,
advertising revenue. Yeah.
And so do you sell these ads that people just like emailing you or like DMing you and like asking to be promoted on your page? And then how do you price that?
So this is interesting because I used to think that this Instagram community of meme page people was super cringe, and I didn't necessarily like it. But I've come to realize that I was the one that was wrong. So I've sold Instagram pages for like 7 figures, like over 7 figures, multi 7 figures. And I was wrong because I don't want to say that I was wrong because I still wouldn't change anything if I could go back in time. But to give you an example, so I sold an account called Learn Fact, which is an interesting story for, I won't say numbers on any other ones, but I sold this one for $500,000 when I was 19. And I was one of the bigger pages. I had almost 7 million followers. And at the time, there was these other pages. One was Wasted, one was Greatest Reactions, one was Meme IG. These guys didn't sell. Had similar offers, but didn't sell. And so now these guys have like over 10 million followers. I bought an ad off of this one guy yesterday for 4,000. 4,000. He didn't even blink at it. So these guys are making nearly 10K a day selling ads, the really, really big guys. And I would have been there if I wouldn't have sold. So I'm not mad that I sold, but in retrospect, I probably...
sometimes cash is king. Like sometimes it's like you probably were glad you get the nest egg to keep building off of. Right?
Well, yeah, and because if they were to sell now, they have to pay taxes and then
it's nice to cash out once in a while.
But what I was getting at with that is that this Instagram community now is actually really strong. And so if I was to sell ads, like when I sell ads, there's group chats that have 500 to 1,000 people, some upwards of 1,000 people, where it's full of ad buyers and other people that have pages. So I know, like I have relationships with the majority of the people that are buying ads. I don't really respond. I won't even, people will DM me or they'll email about buying ads, but unless it's a company that I know, I won't even respond most times just because I'm fully booked from the people on Instagram that are buying ads.
How many of the posts that get posted on these pages are ads? Does that make sense? Like,
totally depends on the page. I spam a lot of my pages. So I have 12 pages total. A lot of them are under 1 million, like 500K to 1 mil followers. And I'll spam them like one ad for one content.
Okay, so it's 1-to-1, like back and forth.
But the biggest pages will post maybe 10 pieces of content to one ad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what
maybe
kind
even
of
more
are people, because they're like meme pages and stuff. So are people like coming to you because they think your following is relevant to like the brand, like their demographic, or is it just kind of like mass awareness?
So my pages are just general meme pages. If I had, say, like I bought off of Hurdles yesterday. So I run marketing for a crypto casino. And so we paid Antonio Brown to tweet that, which I think that fight's actually going on right now, but we paid Antonio Brown to tweet that he would knock Logan, or that there's a 0% chance that Logan Paul would ever win a fight and he would knock Logan Paul out, right?
You paid Antonio Brown to tweet that?
We paid Antonio Brown to tweet that.
No way.
And we kind of knew the tweet wasn't going to do very much, but I immediately had graphics ready, like repurposed, of the news headline stuff with like Antonio Brown says that he'll knock out Logan Paul and X tweet, because the catch was like, I just put an ETH into this $1 million sweepstakes. Shout out MetaWin. I just put an ETH in this $1 million sweepstakes. I have a 2% chance of winning $1 million, which is a higher percent chance than Logan Paul has of ever winning a fight. And so we had him tweet that, and then I just screenshotted it and then repurposed it and ran on a bunch of meme pages. And I paid this account Hurdles, I think $1,600 to post it, and he only has like 1 million followers. But $1,600 is huge. So he posts sports content and he's super niche, so it did really, really well there. But my pages is more just Facebook and Instagram marketing has gotten so expensive through Facebook that we've almost come full circle, because before they switched to algorithm feed, meme pages were way better. And now they've just raised prices a little bit every year, but it's been so many years since then. I believe almost 10 years that meme pages are cheaper again. So
I really had no idea how much business went into like the meme page side of things.
oh, dude, it's huge.
I did not know about it.
Huge.
I'm kind of under a rock when it comes to like a lot of that stuff, to be fair. But like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah,
like, because I followed these meme pages. I didn't realize that they were printing cash like this.
Dude, printing cash. Like, so I sold another page to this guy named Richard, who I'm technically NDA'd on that actually. So I may or may not have sold a page to this guy named Richard. and he bought the page. He was originally pissed. I thought I won the deal. He thought he lost and overpaid. Fast forward now, I can't say the exact name of the account, but it has between 6 and 7 million followers. And he's printing, I believe, $2,000 to $3,000 a day off of it.
Damn.
Holy shit.
And then you book these ads for like 6-7 months out. So like you're pretty for the most part, or no?
That far in advance. I believe he's booked like a month out because he'll just sell bulk. He'll sell packs of 10 posts.
Do they send you the content that they want posted, or like how does that part work? Because like here's a graphic and please post it in your meme.
The majority of it is relationship based now. But so like if you know Richard and you're in the Instagram community, he's probably going to charge you $1,000 to $2,000.
Okay.
If you don't know Richard and you're a guy that emails him, especially if you're a really big company, it'll probably be 5, 7, 10K.
Do you provide the creative, or do you build?
They provide the creative. Very recently, these pages have started posting in like news style.
Yeah.
Where they do like the big blocky text with their logo on it.
Oh, yeah.
So now they all have their own little graphic designers where it's like $5 per post. So they'll make their own news style content for the cover of it. But other than that, the advertisers are the ones that are setting the
one of the big guys in this space. Is it F Jerry? Is he in that space technically? Right?
Yeah, but he's kind of transcended above it. They're making way more than
what was he? Like, I've heard that name a lot.
He started out and he was a little bit in this meme page community at the very beginning, but he was kind of one of the first guys to go blue chip. So now the example that I was giving of those big pages that used to be the same size as mine that are now over 10 mil, those guys are blue chip now. Like they only post the most squeaky clean content. For example, if my content mentioned like an influencer and the influencer had been known for like going after people for posting about them, they wouldn't post it.
Oh, I see.
Like they're squeaky clean. Fuck Jerry's kind of always been like that. Like they raised money pretty early. They were very professional very early.
Raised money
for the meme pages?
Yeah. Well, and he built out an entire marketing agency behind it.
Yeah.
So most of these guys, like, what's funny about the meme page guys is that most of them are so they never went to college. Most of them are making just enough money to kind of survive. It's funny because a lot of them were very good at the meme page stuff really early, but they weren't overly ambitious. And so when we were starting, there was kind of this competition between the meme page people and the e-commerce people. And it's interesting because if you were to just take all of them, it's probably about even, like all the average numbers of money that these people are making, the two groups. But the meme page people's very heavily carried by like the 10% at the top. The rest of the meme page people are making like no money. Like they're happy selling one ad a day for $100 or 2 ads a day for $200.
That makes sense. Okay.
And they don't have to do anything because they're just coasting off their page, making like $70K a year. But they're making less money realistically than like the people that went to college they were making fun of like 8 years prior.
Yeah.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
so it's like
sense.
they thought they were this big entrepreneur. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
you're barely making McDonald's wages now.
Yeah.
You might as well work at McDonald's, post your one ad a day.
Literally.
Or like mow lawns or something to double
Yeah.
your income.
That's true.
But yeah, then you take the e-commerce guys, like the average e-commerce guy is probably making like a lot more money.
Yeah, it's like I would actually like. Yeah, you probably have that like still like small scale people who are selling like one air freshener a day or something, and they're like making just enough. Like you said, they're making like $700-800 a week, maybe. And that's it, right? But then you also have the guys that like build entire brands off drop shipping.
Dude, the e-commerce guys are all different because the skills that their business model taught them, you can very easily apply to growing a personal brand.
True.
So the vast majority of them have personal brands. Like,
or you can get a job really easily too with a lot of those
exactly.
skills.
Yeah. Like learning I mean, I think that like if I could go back in time, realistically, the Instagram stuff probably made me really good at copywriting and taught me consistency because you just have to do the same shit every single day and not get bored of it. The e-commerce guys learned Facebook ads, but they also had to learn sort of this like personal, like they learned marketing in a slightly different way where they then transferred it into their personal brand. Like almost every single one of them did.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like Iman Gaji is like uber successful now.
Was he a dropshipping guy?
He started out as an Instagram guy, kind of transitioned to the e-commerce stuff, and then he got into the course stuff. But what people don't know about him is that he was making like all of his money off of the course stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know that video? So everyone knows Ty Lopez's like Here in My Garage.
Yeah, the books.
Yeah.
You need more knowledge.
But Iman Gaji had the one where it's like you see money all around me. Like that ad that he was running, I would see that every day. And he made fucking bank off that. Like bank. He scaled that to Ty Lopez Here in My Garage. Not nearly, but for this like smaller little e-commerce guru space, he scaled that video to the fucking moon, like to the moon. What were you gonna say?
That guy, he did a good job of that. I feel like he was the first dude because he had the agency course. That's what I think really. He was like one of the first guys to do like a service course. Like, so you could build your agency.
Someone who like didn't really have that big of an agency too. Like
he had a decent agency, I think.
I think he
I've heard that it
wasn't a little bit.
I've heard that it wasn't what people think.
He wasn't doing 30 million a year or nothing.
Course was just.
I mean, his one video where he's talking about 10, like how to make 10K a month. That video is just like his funnel. Like every other video he posts is just funneling to that video to the course.
Well, people don't realize like for the actual, because like we have an agency, and for the agency space, like 10K a month isn't a lot.
No.
Like because you're actually paying people out. Like so everyone like hears that they're like, if you never made money, like 10K a month, that's crazy. But it's like okay, but you actually have expenses now.
Yeah, you have a lot of expenses.
Yeah, right. So
if you're an actual operating agency, you have a ton of expenses because you have to outsource all this different stuff.
I mean, really, it doesn't. You're not really seeing like crazy money, so you're like in that 50 to 100K a month space. Like, and then that's when you start to see it a little bit, right? Yeah. But so a lot of those courses, it's like I feel like you shouldn't make a course until you've at least done like 50 something a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a ton of guys who made all their money off of courses and they're stupid at, like they're so
they're
rich.
Not even
now.
good.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, for sure. I should say I wouldn't buy from someone unless they were doing that.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to tell though, because I think that, I mean, I don't know for 100% certain, but what I've heard from people that know Iman Gaji like closely when he was blowing up originally is that he was making 90% of his money off of the course always. And so he's an expert, especially now, because then he added the SaaS thing at the end of it.
Yeah.
So now his entire funnel is just YouTube into course, into higher level course. And then once you're at the end of it, you use my software.
What is his software? Oh, is it agency software?
Yeah, it's called like Agency Flow, I think.
Yeah.
So you use his software for billing and for all of this stuff, and then he just takes a percentage off the top. So
that's fucking genius.
Right fucking guy.
Holy
well,
shit.
yeah, and then you take that, and so now you have all of these people that are paying you every single month for this, all your students, and then that gets valued at like an 8 to 12 times multiplier.
Because now he's
because that was a software company.
That's so smart.
And then
I mean, honestly, maybe he's just did he make a good course? Has anyone seen because you don't, I guess, like if his course is that good, then like I guess who cares?
I don't know if it's good or not.
If his
It
course
had
is
to have been pretty
valuable,
good.
yeah. If it's a valuable course, then I guess like good for him.
I've always been curious if he did the Tate. I always thought he did the Tate method where he was having people post his shit. I think he did that because I would see his shit and Tate and that Justin guy, the dude, the construction.
Justin
Oh
Waller.
my god, yeah.
Oh, dude,
That
Justin
guy,
Waller,
tight
bro.
jeans.
Tight jeans all the time.
That guy talks like the craziest shit.
Yeah, dude, that guy's
does.
a meme. That guy's an absolute meme.
He is such
He
a
like claims
meme.
he's such this like multi-millionaire. I think he's a meme. I think he's just a yes man to Tate, and Tate
for
just
sure.
likes.
I love
Tate
him
likes
talking about
dude.
girls too. Like he acts like the
so
biggest
ridiculous, bro.
He really does.
Get yourself a Navy suit. You need some nice pants.
Yeah.
You're a professional.
Yeah, he hops on video and acts like he's just this different breed of man, and he's just so different, which is just ridiculous.
With the construction
I
company.
love to talk to him in person because he's definitely nothing like that.
Oh, I can imagine.
There's no way that he would talk like that in person.
Yeah, he's just taking. I think he's just taking pages out of Tate's book,
which is smart, honestly. I mean, those guys did a fucking
year.
Great job.
Well, he was grinding for a long time before that. But
Justin Waller or Tate?
Tate.
But
He
Justin
was
has like a
years.
real. I think it's Justin, right? The redhead.
He's a construction.
He has a
iron
real
company or
company.
some shit.
Yeah, iron.
Apparently.
He has a real company that like operates and makes money and everything. Like he's like actually pretty legit.
Yeah, but I think he's in. I think he's in on Hustlers University with Tate.
he is.
Because he's fucking. He always is. plugging their shit in the comments.
Yeah, or what's it called? The real world or whatever.
Real world.
They're pushing AI super heavily now.
What is real world?
What do you say?
What's real world?
That's his
Real world
course.
is his course. So
That's
he
Tate's
has
course?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hustlers University, Real World.
Yeah, it's Hustlers University, Real World, and then he has the War Room.
They're constantly
as
changing
well.
names because they're just banning their IPs and shit.
Oh, really? So War Room's his too?
Yeah, War Room is like
know
the select. It's like that's like his upcharge. Like that's like when you're in a group of 500 members. So we're all out
whitelisted?
there to make
It's
multi-millions
like
of
$500 a
dollars.
month. It's like crazy.
Damn.
It's like 5,000, I think.
It's $5,000 a month to be
No,
in the war room?
$5,000 for like a.
really quick.
Yeah, you're good.
Logan Paul's a cool guy. He's like, I didn't even realize how hated he was. So Gordon Ryan's like a huge jiu-jitsu person, right? So he's like, I didn't realize that Logan Paul had this like whole thing around where people hated him. He's like, but honestly, after talking to him, he's like, he's a pretty cool guy and he's making a ton of money.
Yeah.
And he was like, so honestly, he's like, people usually hate winners. So he's like, I like this guy. And he's like, and not to mention, he's like, I just fucking love trolling Dylan Dennis. So he's like, I fucking hate that guy. So I took the opportunity to just get behind it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm here to, he's like, why did you come? And he was like, yeah, I'm here to retrieve Dylan because he's supposed to wash my car.
That's a good Ryan said.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
I'm here to
actually funny.
retrieve
Yeah.
Dylan.
Dennis is with the one dude who survived a match with him. It was a stalemate.
But
Really?
that
Oh,
was like,
seriously? With
Yeah, dude,
Gordon
like,
Ryan?
yeah.
But that was like a
it's
while ago.
damn.
Yeah.
I think it was that a
Dylan
while
Dennis is
ago though?
legit.
Right?
It was a
Yeah,
while
Dylan
ago.
Dennis is actually
He's legit
good.
as fuck.
Yeah.
But striking is
Yeah,
awful.
right. Yeah, that one.
Awful.
Yeah, his one Bellator fight, he looks so bad.
And then he just grabs him and fucking heel
But
hooks
also
him.
Logan Paul, like, it's this house of cards where Logan Paul is considered to be good because he almost beat KSI. And why is KSI considered to be good? Like,
Yeah,
because
when
he
did
beat
that-
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Like, neither of them. I get Jake Paul, but Jake Paul's trained every day for like
Yeah.
4 years.
Right.
Logan
Jake
Paul's
Paul's-
running around doing
Yeah.
prime WWE stuff. He's not fucking training.
Jake Paul has actually like earned like some respect, I would say
For
for
sure.
sure. Like he's actually
Yeah.
like worked his ass off for years. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess you're a boxer now.
And people
Yeah.
are talking about like him and Logan. If I'm like, dude, Jake would beat the fuck out of
Jake
him.
would beat the fuck out of
dude.
Logan.
Oh yeah, because
The
he's
only
trained
thing-
now.
yeah.
Like,
He's a
The
bo-
only
he's kind of
thing
a
would
boxer
be
now.
like the big brother, little brother
Yeah.
element of it. Like I
like
wonder
a movie.
I wonder if Jake would get psyched out just because his older brother.
for sure.
True, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
for sure.
Because you definitely have the mental edge if you're the older brother.
You just,
Yeah.
you just can't believe anything with those guys. Honestly, I feel
Yeah,
like,
I don't believe
Yeah.
anything.
like I just feel like all like, I'm sure a lot of Jake's like the Anderson Silva one was legit. I don't think Anderson Silva would take a payoff.
Yeah.
Tyron Woodley, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe.
know, dude. Tyron Woodley, that knockout was weird. But I don't know.
But all I know is like the amount of money, like people like underestimate how much money these guys have, like Jake Paul and Logan Paul, and how
Yeah.
much more money they have than guys like Anderson Silva and stuff. So it's like, I mean, money always
Spent on
talks.
training,
Like
yeah.
I always think it's like, yeah, like he wouldn't take a payoff, but it's like, I mean, with the numbers that they're able to throw around, I think that would make a lot of people question their morals.
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah, like 10 million to take it
Yeah,
out.
true.
yeah, I mean, these
Be on
guys
the
like
news for
these,
2 weeks and never talk
these
about
guys
it again.
in the UFC, like they're worth like $2-3 million bucks. Like
yeah.
they're not worth
Yeah.
that much money. So Logan Paul, Jake, they can throw at them like
Yeah.
more
Especially
money than
the
they've
older
ever
ones,
made.
because the UFC used to pay way less than even
Yeah.
pays
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
these guys have no money. So like, I mean, not no money
Yeah.
used lightly, but compared to them,
Yeah.
like it's like more money than they made their whole career
Yeah.
for one night to get
Yeah,
knocked
dude,
out.
Logan Paul's me a billionaire, bro. Jake Paul's
yeah.
easily worth 100 M's
The
plus.
they're like these like pseudo cards they put together are like $50 million fights. Like,
Crazy.
What the fuck?
Dude, this one's probably gonna do like crazy.
Oh, this one will probably do like
Dennis,
couple-
Dennis
yeah.
single-handedly promoted this whole
Bro,
fight.
he
Yeah, he really
sold
did.
this so well.
If you look at like
So well.
Cowboy Cerrone or Cerrone, whatever, how you know that
Yeah.
guy, right? So
Yeah.
he was like, he had like the most fights in UFC or whatever.
was-
His net worth
He's got
is
made
like
$5 million in the UFC.
his net worth is like $5 million,
Yeah.
and he's like fought more than anyone.
Really?
And his net worth is like
Yeah, he fought. That was the last win McGregor had,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost sad like that's what he's worth compared to these guys. So like we'll put together a $50 million fight in one night.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They're just good fucking promoters. Like that's what the
Yeah.
difference to McGregor was,
Yeah.
Mayweather, like all these guys.
Well,
are
and it's
just
such a
good promoters.
spectacle too, because you literally have no idea what's gonna happen.
It's more
Yeah.
fun that like they're not boxers
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
saw that thing where it was like instead of the Olympics and like there's like a meme. It was like instead of like having trained athletes do the Olympics, they should just do it like they do jury duty and like they just like pick random people like jury duty.
just
Like, it's
put
like
them in.
you have to go to the Olympics this year or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like and John from like Spring Road is doing the 400 meter.
That would make it interesting to bet on.
Dude, I would watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so much funner
Especially
than training.
boxing, because I
Yeah.
feel like it can be kind of mundane if it's two people that are really, really good
Yeah.
and really technical, and it's
sure.
super even.
Yeah.
And no one gets knocked out. I feel like it gets really mundane.
It is
And-
funny
and
to
he-
watch.
The other thing was like what's like funny, like if you just mix these like jury duty type people in with like the trained athletes, they're like show me how good these people really are. Yeah. Like let's put like Jerry next to like Usain Bolt.
Yeah. Show them.
Because they're like, you're right, like they're all really fast. Like you can't really like tell.
Yeah, you can't tell. It doesn't look that spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wonder if Logan would ever is ever gonna get anything brought against him with the crypto zoo shit. No.
Sounds like you won't. Sounds like that's like over.
Yeah. Not for CoffeeZilla. CoffeeZilla just posted another video yesterday. Really? Dude, he wants his ass so bad.
I mean, I just think like there's so many other, like he promoted other NFTs. Him and Jake together promoted so many shitcoins, but so is everyone. Like Kim Kardashian has promoted shitcoins.
Has she?
She got in trouble for it. Not like I mean, she has promoted shitcoins, but the one that she got in trouble for because she didn't clearly disclose that it was an ad. So it was an FTC violation.
Remember they tried to do that with Dave Portnoy?
Yeah.
I love when people go after Dave Portnoy. Yeah. It's so fucking funny.
He claps back.
What he did is like a little YouTube video about what was it when he was promoting?
Safe Moon, right?
Safe Moon, yeah. And he does his like where he did like the hats like it was a college draft or whatever. Like a YouTube
what are we gonna go with?
He's so funny.
He's so funny. Then they're like, it was like you were promoting. He's like, how the fuck? He's like, why would you take advice from me? His whole like clapback was so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
I think it was great.
Let's dive into Russian oligarchs.
Okay. Russian oligarchs.
Yeah, I got to hear that story.
Yeah. I mean, so all right, to give the audience to pretense, I sold an Instagram account to a Russian oligarch by the name of Sergey Grishin, who unfortunately was what many would say murdered earlier this year, and I think March. And so to give some backstory on that, I had an account called LearnFact, which had about 6.5 million followers when I was a freshman in college. And so I received this random message on Kik back then was what we use. So I received a random message from this dude named Andrew, and he hit me up and he was like, hey, I'm running an agency here. We're buying Instagram pages. How much do you want for your page? I thought it was some just random dude, because I'd almost sold for 400K, I think a month before that. So I was like, fuck it, 750K is what I want. And the guy came back and he was like, okay, I'll get back to you. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I thought he was just going to say no.
Yeah.
Comes back to me. We start negotiating. We agree on 500K. He's like, hey, we're buying a bunch of pages. I saw they actually bought a 5 mil like a week before. So I was like, damn, these guys are legit. We couldn't agree on the contract. So I called the dude when I was fishing, out on the lake fishing on a little paddle boat. And I was like, hey, I'll fly to Florida tomorrow. No contract, certified check. I'll just give you the page in person. You give me the money in person. We'll do this. And he's like, deal. And so I went to book a flight. The only flights available were Spirit. So I flew Spirit down to Fort Lauderdale, met up with the dude. He gave me a $500,000 certified check. We went to Bank of America and I deposited it. And then I gave him the account. And then I flew back home and I was shocked. I dropped out of college like a week later. I was shocked. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Absolutely shocked. And so the dude that was actually behind the agency that financed it was this Russian oligarch named Sergey Grishin. And so he went on to buy pretty much every Instagram account over 5 million followers on all of the meme page community. So he easily spent upwards of 50 million. Easily. Whoa. He bought so many pages easily. And now it's a big advertising agency. They sell ads to Amazon, Nike, Apple, all kinds of stuff.
So this was like a really big business strategy, like overarching.
Yeah. But so he had a dispute. He already had a dispute with Putin before that. And so he had been asking President Trump for residency or for citizenship in the US. And Trump wouldn't give it to him. He was known as the Scarface billionaire. He had like a massive pad in LA, massive. And so Trump wouldn't give him citizenship. He was in Russia, COVID started, and there was a bunch of oligarchs that spoke up against Putin.
I remember that. Yeah, when we were going after their boats and all that shit.
Yeah, so they started to speak up then, and then what happened after that was the war with Ukraine, obviously. And so all these guys' bank accounts were getting frozen. Like there was all that shit popping off at the beginning of it, remember? And so then these rich Russian oligarchs, there was a group of them, I think like 7, very angry with Putin, obviously. So they started speaking out even more. And I believe there was a month-long period where all 7 of these dudes died.
Shit.
All 7 of them died. Yeah. From unknown random causes, which is fucked.
You do not fuck
So
with
yeah,
Putin.
the dude that bought my Instagram page for $500K, this Scarface billionaire, literally,
That's
in all probability, probably got murdered by Putin. Which is crazy. I don't know if I should be saying that, but
I mean, I think
dead now,
everyone,
so it's okay.
yeah. But yeah, pretty.
That's insane.
everyone
wild.
thinks that for sure. I think like there's
Pretty wild.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
And then
far-fetched.
it was crazy though, because so I sold the page to him and then he was like, hey, what other pages should I buy? And so I knew this guy at the time named Richard, the one that I'm NDA'd on, but I advised the Russians to buy this guy's pages because they were good and he had way more than I did. He had a 10 mil that they paid $1 million for. And then he had, I believe, a 4 mil, a 3 mil, and like a bunch of other pages that he sold for like 750. So he made racks. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's insane.
And so he made almost 2 million. And then there was a period where he sold his pages. He's a little bit older than I am. So he was just partying. I was younger. I didn't spend any of the money. I just made another Instagram page and grew it to like 3 mil. And this kid was really competitive. So he tried to get back into it and kind of fell on his face a little bit. I think he only gained like 500,000 followers or something.
Fell on his face.
Yeah. I mean, but so obviously this guy used to be like top dog.
Yeah.
I have 6 times his following now. So naturally I just started talking shit and he didn't like that. So he ended up buying that page. I can't say how much for, but for a decent amount of money, he bought that page, sizable chunk. He didn't know, there was sort of this understanding on his end that I was going to be done with Instagram, which was ridiculous. That was never in any sort of contract. Mm-hmm. So he bought it, didn't know that I already had another account that had 1 million followers, grew that to 2 million like that. He bought that one 3 weeks later for multi 6 figures as well. I can't say exactly how much. And then both of those accounts were like facts niche. The first one was specifically learning niche, like it had learn in the name. And so then I grew another account, which was at learning. And I grew that to about 3 million followers, like really quickly after that. And he ended up buying that one too, because he was worried that I was going to pass the first account that he bought. This kid's like hyper competitive.
You're like, all right,
and you're just
I'm like,
you're
give me the money.
You're like,
give me
I'm
the
done
money.
after
Yeah.
this one. I promise you. This
But
is
so,
my last
Like, hey,
one.
buddy, I got another one for you.
No, literally. Well, because he'd see all these ads for it and he'd start to worry. And then I'd always call him and be like, yo, you see these learning posts, bro? And he'd be like, no. And I'd be like, yeah, that's me. And he'd start getting super pissed. And
then he would be so mad that he would just give you money.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's a good deal. I wish that was people being mad at me.
Yeah. But so there was this understanding though for a while between us and like the whole Instagram community that I had won the deal. And that's the account that I was talking about that now has 6 million followers,
now he's
that
making
he's
a ton.
printing cash. So in reality, once again, I think I win said deal. I guess cash is king, but
Yeah.
I think I win said deal, and then time goes on,
And you can't really predict the future, so sometimes it's better just to
you
take the
can't.
money.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
For all you know, Instagram
Yeah.
closes out
Yeah,
closes
it's
next.
Yeah,
hindsight,
exactly.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, and back then it was risky too, just because you didn't know if Instagram was gonna like crack down on the meme pages even more. You didn't really know what was gonna happen. But yeah, pretty crazy.
that is insane.
That is
This
crazy. Yeah.
whole community is wild.
Yeah.
I honestly had I had no idea it was even like that.
Yeah, I didn't know that it went that in depth.
Interesting.
I
had
didn't
an
know
idea
that there was
about
that much money to
ads
make
back
off
in
of
the
them,
day.
to be honest. I had no idea.
Well, dude, it's crazy because it's all the same people. So I started doing it when I was around 14, and it's all the same guys 10 years later that are all in
Really?
it. So I've known these dudes my entire life. Like I'll hit guys up. Like yesterday, I was buying ads for the AB stuff, and I text these guys. I'm like, yo, I need an ad. And they'll respond like, all right, I know you're not paying my prices. I know you're just going to pay what you want to pay. So how much? Because they know that I'm just going to sit there and negotiate for like 4 hours if that's what it takes. So they're just like, how much are you paying? And I'll just pay it. But it's funny because I've known these guys and everyone's printing money in their own, most people in their own little way. The big guys.
Yeah.
The people that have like under 1 million followers, just one page, they're not really making very much. They're stagnant, like I was saying. But the bigger guys are all making a lot of money, which is wild.
Is it pretty hard to get in that group now? Like building a 1 million plus account pages across the board?
Yeah, but what I've been thinking about doing is opening it up a bit. So I would credit Oliver Brocato. He's young. He went to University of Michigan, which is right by where I grew up. He's a lot younger than me, but he created this company called Tabs, which is like sex chocolate. And he killed the influencer game because he developed this TikTok UGC strategy where he's basically just spam sending it out to all these TikTok influencers. And so he would have like hundreds of people posting multiple clips per day.
Damn.
So your testing size is insane. So then of those, he would take the winners and he would scale it on meme pages and like started printing money. Because if you take a winner and you run it on meme pages, the problem that people will run into is the Instagram algorithm is so subjective that if the content is a winner, it will fly. But if it sucks, it's just going to fall flat and do literally nothing. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you were to pay, say, like an influencer for a promotion and your copy's really good, it would probably do like 30% better. If your copy's really bad, 30% worse. Instagram, you could have 99 out of 100 if it's really good, or literally 0 out of 100 does nothing if the ad's bad. So there's a lot of variability there. So he took all his winners, scaled it across Instagram, and I believe he's done like $8 million in sales.
So he kind of combined like the quote unquote drop shipping with the meme thing. So he's got like both skills. And
but so I would credit him with, he's been making some noise on TikTok and just on social media doing podcasts and stuff. I would credit him with giving meme pages credit and kind of opening it up a little bit.
That makes sense. Yeah. Because so, it is like very e-com, everyone knows about dropshipping.
Yeah.
That's like everyone knows that that's like your, a route to make internet money or whatever.
Yeah.
I really don't think I've heard many people talk about this meme page world.
Well, and it's interesting because it's a lot more like real estate. So like I was saying earlier, if you were sitting on 10K, if you're drop shipping, you could invest said 10K into your ads, into your inventory, into all this stuff. But if it doesn't work, you're screwed out of 10K.
Right.
If you were to take 10K and you buy an account that has, say, 700,000 followers and you sell ads on it and you actually grow the page, like boom, you have your entire business right there. Because if you start growing the page, say 10,000 followers a month, which isn't that hard, year after year, you're going to gain it like nearly, that's over 100,000 followers. So fast forward 2 years, the value of your account has like tripled and you've been making like $5,000 a month off of the page. So then you can turn around and sell it. You have IP that you can actually sell and you have the account that you're making money off of. And like, let's say you buy the account for 7K, you just maintain the follower number, you sell ads for 2 months, realize you don't like it, turn around, sell it for 7K. You still profit the money that you made selling ads over the 2 months. So there's nowhere near as much risk. You just need a little bit more capital. You need at least a few thousand to start. And like what you can do, like what I've done is you build out an entire agency around it. So if you have a meme page, you're plugged into this meme page world where you have people that can do growth. You have people that can do all of this different stuff just at a snap of your fingers, literally in a disc or in a group chat. And so you're plugged into this world where then I can start an agency and I can say like, okay, I have a guy that can create new style content. I have a guy that can then edit this into TikTok type videos. I have a guy that can do all of this stuff every step of the way. And then I can scale this across not only my pages, but all my friends' pages. And then you have an entire agency model basically built out in front of you just by being in this like meme page community. And so there's some people that are capitalizing on it, but it's far less known.
It makes a lot of sense because you might have some guys that like just want to invest in the page and not have to touch it too much.
Yeah.
So they're willing to pay an agency to like do the behind the scenes.
To just manage it, or you literally just pay your buddy to just manage it and to just be in
that makes
the
sense.
Group chat. Yeah.
Especially if you're like making that much money, you're probably like, all right, I don't want to do the day to day of this. Like,
because I've never really thought about it. Like I've realized that I could probably start some sort of group where I charge people and I show you how to do the meme page stuff. And then I actually add you to all of the group chats. So I add you to here's Instagram Marketplace where you're going to sell ads. Here's SFS Gang where you're going to cross promote with people. Here's like buying ads that has an even broader range of ad buyers. I think that group chat has like 2,000 people that are buying ads in it or something. Oh. So I never really realized that has value.
Yeah, it has a ton of value. So, especially because no one knows about it.
Exactly. Yeah. People don't really get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially you think about this part, like, so there's millions and millions. I don't know how many users are on Instagram, but a lot, right?
Yeah.
And that group chat has 2,000 people.
Yeah.
That's a really small percent of users that know about this group chat, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah.
super niche. Yeah. That always has value.
Yeah.
That is really valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fucking
Because then it
world.
feels super exclusive too. What do you think, like percentage wise?
Yeah, I never realized, like I used to think the people in it were cringe and a lot of them were like not really doing very much. Like I thought they weren't optimizing well, but looking at it now, there's a lot of winners in there. And there's a ton of people that are spending ridiculous ad budgets, like $10,000, $20,000 every single day.
Damn.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like people hit the chat and they'll be like, $8,000 to spend the next 3 hours, hit me up, and you'll hit them up and they'll just send you $400 for an ad on all pages. And it's like, post it. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a really wild world.
Yeah.
About to make a page.
Yeah, let's go.
Right after
I was
this.
just like, Square is a new model.
Yeah, literally.
We're buying pages.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
I think the SD card's about to run out.
Okay, perfect. Well, I think we got a lot here, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
no,
for
thank
coming
you.
out. I really appreciate
Yeah.
it. It was a good conversation.
Appreciate you
I think
guys.
everyone is going to learn a lot from
Yeah.
this one.
If you guys get value from this, subscribe. We got plenty more shit coming.
Do you have anything you want to plug, like in terms of like if someone wants to follow you and learn more about this?
Yeah, so you can just follow me on Instagram at Drews, just DREWS.
How the fuck do you get that?
Yeah.
That would be
Didn't you have
perfect.
him?
Yeah.
Before, didn't you have him before too?
I had him, yeah, but it got taken, which is stupid.
Yeah, that was that last. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. But yeah, just through an Instagram connects, yeah. But yeah, follow me at Drews. I'd appreciate it.
Awesome.
Dope.
Cool.
Sweet.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next
Thank
week.
you.
Bye.
Later.